Fuck up again. Fuck up again. Y'all don't understand. I done recorded this fucking intro like 10 times because you know what? I'm leaving all that in. So, all right. This video, 10 stretches post-workout. This video was requested by a patron, and because it was so important, the subject was so important, that I was like, you know what? I want everyone to see this. I want everybody to watch this video. But if you guys do want to have a specific video that you want me to make, tier 3 patrons, they get that that good old gracious perk. Obviously, they're also going through a 12-week program. They're already doing the first 4 weeks right now. Once that first 4 weeks is up, they'll be going through weeks 5 through 8, then 9 through 12. So again, if you guys do want to hop in on that program, consider being a tier 3 patron. But anyways, 10 stretches that you can do post-workout. I'm not much of a fan of stretching before a workout. If you do want to stretch before a workout, I would recommend not to do static stretching, but dynamic stretching, mainly because those are more active and you're not really forcing your body to get too loose. I say that because when you're doing a static stretch, you're stretching out those muscles or tendons so they're not as tight and constricted. And if you do that pre-workout, I mean, you run the chance of being too loose, and the chance of you hyperextending at a joint increases. And I know y'all seen those gym fail videos where, you know, that elbow just snap city, that knee go snap city. We don't want that. But again, stretching is so important that a lot of people neglect. Even myself, I'm guilty of you know, finishing my work and I'm like, deuces, I'm good, I'm done. But it needs to be done. When you're trying to squat with tight hips, horrible ankle mobility, it can suck. You're already limiting yourself. When you're trying to bench with, you know, super tight shoulders, your chest is pulling those shoulders forward, giving that rounded shoulder move action. Again, you're limiting the potential that you have within these exercises. So that's why I want to, you know, highlight a few exercises that you guys can do post-workout. You don't have to do them all, but I would definitely encourage you to do a few of them. Work them into your routine. And yeah, so we're gonna start from the bottom and work our way up. The first exercise, the first exercise being a calf stretch. I'm gonna show you 2 different ways you can do a calf stretch, mainly because a lot of the exercises that I have people do involve a lot of rapid hopping movements and things like that. So we gotta start with those calves. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. All right, so the first exercise, like I said, is gonna be a calf stretch. All we're trying to do is just really just kind of keep that, our main focus is keeping that heel on the ground, at least for the first variation. Then I'm gonna show you a different variation where we're gonna be trying to close the, well, I mean, they're both similar. You're pretty much gonna be trying to close the distance between your toe and your shin. So the toe, the shin, that's what's really gonna get that calf really stretched. So again, the first one, we're just gonna focus on keeping our heel on the ground, and it's gonna look just like this. So the main focus is bring that front foot up, and like I said, we're closing that distance from between the shin and the toe, and just kind of hold it 10 seconds. Once you feel that nice good pull, then you can go ahead and switch. All right, so now the other variation for this calf stretch is just gonna be now, instead of having our heel, well, the heel's still gonna be on the ground, but pretty much we're raising the toe up. And so what it's gonna look like is this. So you're gonna be placing your foot on the wall just like that, and all you're doing, again, same thing, bringing that shin towards the toe, really letting that calf stretch, get that nice good old calf stretch. So that's what you wanna do. Just wanna hold that for like, again, another 10 seconds. And then you're gonna switch, do the exact same thing. Boom, boom, boom. And if you wanna make it a bit more challenging, obviously just come a little bit closer. By coming closer, all you're doing, see how my range of motion got shorter? That's your test of ankle mobility. So obviously you don't want it to be that small, so bring that toe down, and then again, lean into it. But again, doing these, it's gonna really warm up those calves, or not warm them up, but stretch them out, and it'll help release some of that tension. Again, because another thing with stretching, if you're someone who gets sore very easily, stretching post-workout will definitely decrease the severity of those DOMS effects, or delayed onset muscle soreness. So you won't be as sore if you stretch post-workout. So definitely that's just another benefit of stretching. So the next exercise that we're gonna do is gonna be for the glutes, and there's many glute stretching exercises that you can do. Me being someone who actually does have tight glutes, this one is gonna be more of a modified version. As you get used to it, as your glutes get a little bit more looser and they're not as tight, I'm gonna tell you a different way that you can do this exercise. I'm not gonna show you because your boy got tight glutes. Hello. All right, so as I said, this is gonna be a good exercise to stretch your glutes out. So again, all we wanna do, I'm gonna show you the actual way that I would want you to do it if you actually have a little bit looser glutes, or if your glutes just aren't as tight as mine. You can do them seated, and what you would wanna do is bring that foot over, but you would wanna have this foot planted on the ground. Now, because I can't do that, because I'm already feeling my glute pull right now. It is extremely tight. So, but if you're able to, your goal would be to have that foot right there, the one that's not resting right here. You would want to have that foot flat on the ground, and all you would do is your main focus would just be, oh, hold on. But yeah, obviously, now in order to increase that glute stretch, you would want to sink lower, and I'm feeling it, baby. But this is what I'm gonna do, because again, this is the range of motion I would want right here, but I want to be seated being able to do that. So I'm gonna hold this just like this. I'm feeling that stretch in my glute. Hold this for 10 seconds, just like that, and then you just want to do it for the opposite leg also. So that's what we're gonna do there. So same thing, bring this other leg over. I'm just resting, butt's not on the ground, but I'm feeling that pull right there in my right glute, and it's just a good stretch to do. Like I said, I have pretty good ankle mobility, so I'm able to sink low into my squats. My hips aren't as tight. They are tight, but they're not as tight. So again, I can sit comfortably into those squatting positions, but the glutes, man, them glutes is important. So make sure you definitely loosen them things up. So yeah, that's a modified way of doing your glute stretch. This next one we're gonna go straight into. This is for a hip stretch. So if you're someone who has very tight hips, this is what you wanna do here. So it's gonna be a kneeling hip stretch. So all you wanna do, be in a kneeling position just like so. Bring that back leg back just a little bit. And then all you wanna do, just sink into it. Sink those hips, hold it, feel that left hip stretching really good. Obviously you can't see it because I'm on the opposite side, but as if I was to switch, like right now, so boom, front leg up, back leg, bring it back just a little bit, sink those hips just like that, and then you're gonna feel that nice good old pull right there in that hip right there. So that's why I say you wanna make sure that you're really sinking those hips. Hold it for a good 10 seconds, and then you're good. Like I said, these are just posts, these should not be painful. So don't go beyond your ranges of motion to the point where it's extremely painful, because that's gonna make you not wanna do it, right? So just go to a point where you're starting to feel that tension, and then just hold it for that 10 seconds. Then as you get better, as you get looser, you're gonna be able to sink a little bit lower, and then naturally you're just gonna start, your range of motion will get better, and you're gonna feel a lot better, and it's gonna carry over into a lot of your lifts. So yeah. All right, so this next exercise is a quad stretch. We're gonna use this chair right here. You can use a couch, you can use a bench. Honestly, you don't even really need anything, but I'm gonna use this just for reference. You can also do this standing next to a wall, but like I said, I'm gonna use this chair as a bit of just something to prop my foot on. So what you wanna do, because again, the muscle that we're working on is in the name, quad stretch. So you're just gonna prop your foot on here just like so. All you're gonna do is just sink down into it. You're gonna start feeling that stretch right there in that quad right there. Sit back a little bit. Yeah, you don't want to slouch over, but sit back into it. Again, 10 seconds, come up, and then all you're gonna do is just go to the opposite side. Same thing, sink down into it, sit back, get that nice good old quad stretch. All right, so now that you done seen the quad stretch, now we gotta have that balance. So we done focus on the quad. Now we gotta focus on that hamstring. So again, we're gonna use the same exact chair. Again, you can use a bench, you can do these standing, but again, I'm just using this as a reference. So again, This time, again, working leg goes on here. So you're gonna prop your foot up on here like so, and just reach down, feel that nice pull in your hamstring. You can reach down, pass the toe, wherever you wanna reach, just feel that pull. Again, you don't wanna feel that pull to the point where it feels like you're about to snap. Just find that tension point, hold it for about 10 seconds, then release, and then sink back into it. And then again, as it gets looser, you know, you'll be able to reach a little bit lower. You'll be able to go a little bit lower. So exact same thing, switch feet, same thing. And also because these are individual, like you have 2 legs, right? you might notice an imbalance. You might notice that you can stretch a bit further on one leg than you can on the other. So you're gonna learn a little bit about your body. And that's the best thing about stretching is you tend to learn, you know, what's more tight, what's not that tight, and you can focus more on stretch. Okay, so I realized that the audio was starting to mess up a little bit. But yeah, again, like I said, you want to, you know, fix these imbalances as soon as possible, because again, when you're doing, like say you're sinking into a squat, going back into a squat, you know, if you're trying to squat and one, like say your left side is more loose than the other, it's gonna be easier to sink into that motion, while this one's like, nah, I don't wanna do that, I don't wanna do that, I don't wanna do that. So then next you know, you're gonna push off more off that left leg, so to speak, instead of that right one, increasing that imbalance even more, and therefore you're just gonna be imbalanced the whole time. So if you, again, stretching is really important because you learn a lot about your body. And so again, it's easy to neglect it, but the benefits carry over so well that I definitely recommend, I recommend, highly recommend stretching post-workout. All right, so over the last few months, I really started doing yoga a bit more actively, which I really need to start getting back into. But since the gym is just now finally reopened, I'm gonna slowly start getting back into it. But I learned a few things, and one being the child pose is such a great exercise when it comes to not only opening up those hips, but getting a nice good stretch in those shoulders, those lats, just really opening up everything, getting a nice good stretch in that back, those erectors, everything. Those hips, the further you spread your feet apart, the more you're able to open those hips up. But head down, really stretch those hands as far as you can, stretch them up. Really open up those shoulders, that back. It's a really great exercise. It's actually kind of relaxing also. Maybe that's why it's called child pose, I don't know. But it's really relaxing. So again, for this one, if you want, you can hold it for longer than 10 seconds. You know, just again, do what's comfortable for you. And the next one, again, we're gonna keep the yoga trend going. We're gonna do the upward dog. Now, the upward dog is a really good exercise. One, so your hips are driven into the mat like so, and all you're doing is just trying to bring that torso, look up nice and straight, really just kind of open up that torso, get a nice good stretch in those that abdominal wall. Oh yeah, so again, like you have if your abs feel extremely tight, you're gonna really open up right here. So yeah, this is a really good exercise. Then obviously you have not only the upward dog, but then you have the downward dog. So the downward dog is just like so. Try to bring those heels to the ground so you get a nice good calf stretch. Pull that head through just like so. So you're opening up those shoulders also, but you really kind of stretch out those calves. Really get that good old stretch. And again, it's just another one of these great exercises that you can do. Hold it as long as you need to. You know, just let your body kind of start getting loose over time. So those are 3 good exercises you can do. Good yoga exercises that I picked up. And I definitely recommend doing those quite often. So now we're gonna work our way up to, I believe, the last 2 exercises, which is gonna be a lat stretch and a chest stretch. All right, so the 9th stretch that we're gonna be doing is a lat stretch. So these are your lat muscles, this big old slab of meat right here. They can tend to get very tight, and you know, if you're not able to really stretch them out, they can really, you know, decrease the amount of weight you can do, and comfortability of, you know, a lot of back exercises. Again, like I said, when you're doing a lot of these weighted exercises, compound movements, if your muscles are tight, it's gonna suck. you're gonna feel like you're straining far harder than you need to be because you're not naturally able to go through the natural range of motion. So this is a lat stretch. I'm using this chair again as an example. You can do these standing. There is a way you can do these standing, but I'm gonna use this chair for example. So you're gonna wanna have your elbows on the chair, just like so, and all you're doing is just reaching down. See how I'm getting a nice good stretch. Trust me, if you do this, you're gonna feel it. But your whole goal is just to sink lower and lower. You're gonna feel that stretch in your back, and oh my God, I'm telling you, it's gonna feel great. So again, hold it for 10 seconds, come up, relax for a little bit, then sink on back into it. So yeah, this is definitely a good exercise that's gonna be good for not only stretching your lats, not just really your lats, but you might even get a nice good stretch in those erectors also. So that's definitely a good one. So we got one more exercise to do. I'm gonna open up that chest a little bit. This one you may have seen before. It's a very simple chest stretch exercise. Nothing too strenuous, just trying to really open up that chest. All right, so the last stretch that we have is, like I said, for the chest. So all we're trying to do, I have this wall right here. All I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to twist. You're gonna feel that when I just did chest not too long ago, and it's, oh, it feels delicious. Woo-wee. But you just twist, nothing too, crazy. You don't have to go too far, hyperextend. Just grab a wall, you can have it placed if you want to, don't really matter. But all you wanna do is just twist slightly, feel that pull in that chest, hold it for 10 seconds, and then you're just gonna do the complete opposite side. You can hold it right there again, opening up that chest just like so. And again, 10-second hold, 10-second hold, And again, you can do these stretches for however many sets you want to do them for, because you don't have to go crazy with them at all. You don't have to do like 5, 6, 7 sets. You don't have to do, I would definitely recommend doing more than 1 set per body part. But just kind of do what you feel like you need to do, Because again, over time, if you do these consistently, just like when you're working out, lifting weights, doing your cardio, if you do anything consistently, you're gonna see improvements over time. So, hopefully this video helped out. Be sure to share it with anybody that you think might enjoy it or this might help someone, because I would really appreciate it. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.